Time is linear. That's the first lie they sold you. While you're waiting for permission, others are bending reality like putty. You've been trapped in delay loops, programmed to believe manifestation takes years. But what if you could collapse timelines and manifest instantly without the spiritual bypassing or toxic positivity? Today, I'm breaking the quantum silence, revealing 5 forbidden cheat codes that elite mystics guard like nuclear secrets. Codes that hijack the delay matrix, keeping you small, stuck, powerless. Your ancestors knew these, you just forgot. And here's the brutal truth: you're not broken. You're just running outdated reality software. Today you will become sharp, ruthless, and unstoppable when you crack the time code. Still, most will scroll past this cosmic reset button, but not you. So ready to stop being time's victim? Here's how this will unfold. First, I'll expose why you're stuck in delay loops, plus reveal all 5 reality-bending codes. Then we'll run each protocol step by step to collapse your timelines into now. Finally, you'll recognize the unmistakable signs reality is reorganizing around your new quantum commands. Your initiation begins now. Let's begin. You didn't choose this cage, you were born into it. Every time you think, "I'll be happy when," that's not your thought, that's the delay code running. Every time you catch yourself saying, "Someday I'll," that's not hope, that's the program. Here's the visceral truth. Your brain has been hijacked by a temporal operating system that keeps you addicted to later. It convinces you that desire belongs in the future, that good things require waiting, that immediate manifestation is either impossible or somehow wrong. But I'm going to tell you something that'll make your nervous system revolt. There is no later. There never was. The quantum field doesn't recognize time the way your conditioned mind does. Every possibility, the money, the love, the freedom, the breakthrough, exists right now in superposition. The only reason you experience delay is because your consciousness keeps collapsing the wave function into not yet, instead of already here. You've been trained to be a delay generator instead of a reality bender. Think about it. When did you first learn to wait? When you raised your hand in school and the teacher said, "Wait your turn." When you wanted something and your parents said, "We'll see," or maybe next year. When you applied for jobs and they said, "We'll get back to you." When you wanted love and the other person said, "I need time." Layer by layer, experience by experience, your subconscious absorbed the fundamental lie: desire equals waiting. But here's where it gets sinister. This isn't accidental. The delay programming serves a system. When people believe they have to wait for permission, wait for the right time, wait for external conditions to change, they stay controllable, they stay small, they stay producing for others instead of creating for themselves. The uncomfortable truth: most of what you call being responsible or being realistic is just delay programming, dressed up as wisdom. You've got 6 seconds before your brain resets to fear and convinces you this is too good to be true. So let me drop the knife on the table. The version of you that waits for someday, silent, trapped, powerless, is not your true frequency. It's a survival pattern wearing your face. The version of you that bends time, that pulls desires through the quantum field like a magnet, that makes reality reorganize itself around your will. Fluid, sovereign, electric. That's who you actually are. Who you thought you were can't come with you. The person who needs permission can't access the codes. The person who believes in scarcity can't collapse abundance. The person who thinks time is fixed can't bend it. Here's what's about to happen to you. As I reveal these protocols, your old identity is going to panic. It's going to flood you with reasons why this won't work, why you're not ready, why you should wait just a little longer. That's not wisdom. That's the delay code trying to preserve itself. This isn't anxiety you're feeling as your nervous system starts to shift. This is electrical reconfiguration. This is your consciousness remembering its true authority over space-time. According to declassified quantum biology research, when humans operate from their natural frequency, instead of programmed survival responses, they can influence probability fields up to 8 feet around their physical body. That's not metaphysics. That's measurable electromagnetic coherence. But here's what changes everything. This video isn't just information you consume, it's an activation sequence. The moment you started watching, your brainwaves began synchronizing to a different temporal frequency. You're already in the process of becoming a time anomaly. You just don't know it yet. Let's begin. Cheat code 1, the observer collapse switch. Here's the hidden code everything else is built on. Reality doesn't exist in a fixed state. It's a wave of infinite possibilities until you observe it into being. This is straight from quantum mechanics, the observer effect. What you choose to collapse into focus becomes your timeline. Not your hope, not your wish, your actual lived timeline. Let me break this down with classified physics that'll make your brain reorganize itself. The double-slit experiment proved that particles behave as waves, infinite possibilities, until someone observes them. The moment observation happens, the wave collapses into a single specific reality. But here's what they don't teach you in school. You are that observer. Every second of your life, you're collapsing possibility waves into your experience. The quantum Zeno effect shows that constant observation can freeze or stabilize a quantum system. Translation: what you repeatedly focus on locks in as your lived reality. Most people unconsciously collapse fear, doubt, limitation, survival patterns. Masters collapse power, abundance, alignment. Ancient mystics called this the law of conscious witnessing. Your life bends toward what you watch with deep intent. Neville Goddard taught it as an assumption, persisted in, hardens into fact. Here's the esoteric truth they buried. Every second you are a collapsing wave function. The question is, what reality are you choosing to witness into existence? That's why tonight, you're going to hack your quantum observation system. And here's the observer override ritual technique. Step 1. Identify the loop by noticing the reality that keeps repeating in your life. Scarcity, rejection, delay, failure, whatever pattern has you trapped, see it clearly. Step 2. Timeline scanning. Tonight, before you fall asleep, you're going to perform timeline scanning. Close your eyes and visualize 3 parallel versions of yourself existing simultaneously. See them clearly. Version 1, the struggling version, dealing with your current problems and limitations. Version 2, the normal version, getting by, managing, making slow progress. Version 3, the thriving version, already living in the reality you desire, abundant, loved, free, powerful. Step 3, collapse the wave by choosing the thriving version and observe only that timeline. Like a spotlight locking onto one actor on a stage, focus all your attention on that reality. Watch yourself living in abundance. Watch yourself surrounded by love. Watch yourself operating from complete freedom and power. Step 4. Anchor the collapse by picking a small object near your bed, a bracelet, ring, or your phone. This becomes your collapse token. Whisper your new reality into this object. Only this is observed. Only this collapses. Then fall asleep as if that reality is the only one that exists. Step 5. Reset it by seeing your collapse token daily, remembering that you are observing the thriving timeline. When problems try to capture your attention, when the old patterns attempt to reassert themselves, look at your token and redirect your observation back to the chosen reality. Olympic athletes already use this. They visualize races until their nervous system collapses, the reality as a muscle memory. You're doing the same thing, but for money, love, health, freedom. And why does this work? Sleep is your natural quantum reset. Your brain hits theta and delta waves where the subconscious becomes the command center. By refusing to observe failure timelines, you starve them of quantum energy. Reality has no choice but to bend toward the version you consistently witness. But the real secret is this: you've been unconsciously using this code your entire life. Every time you've obsessively worried about something and then watched it manifest, every time you've focused intensely on a desire and seen it appear, every time you've had a strong feeling about an outcome and witnessed it unfold, you were collapsing timelines through observation. The difference is that now you're doing it consciously, deliberately, and with the precision of someone who understands the science behind the magic. Cheat Code 2. Quantum Time Reversal. The hidden doctrine the elites guard with their lives. Time is not linear, it's a programmable field. By collapsing a memory in reverse, you can rewrite both your past and your future. This isn't healing, it's editing the timeline. Declassified fragments from Project Stargate and retrocausality experiments show that subatomic particles can send information backwards in time. Wheeler's delayed choice experiments, John Kramer's transactional interpretation. They prove that decisions made now can alter outcomes that already happened. Official science denies the implications because they're terrifying, but insiders know cause and effect is a two-way street. But here's the quantum science behind it. Your subconscious doesn't distinguish the past from the present. It only reacts to what's loaded in memory now. By editing the stored film strip, your electromagnetic field projects a new signal into the quantum field. Retrocausality theory backs this. Your future state broadcasts backward, reshaping the chain of events that led to it. Here's the timeline reversal protocol. Step 1. Enter altered state. Use the theta brainwave breath cycle. 4 seconds inhale, 7 hold, 8 release. Repeat until your nervous system shifts. Step 2. Recall a specific painful or limiting event from your past. A moment when you acted from fear, when you felt powerless, when you made a choice that led to struggle or suffering. See it clearly in your mind's eye. Step 3. In your mind's eye, reverse the film reel. See the event rewind like a movie playing backwards until you're back before it occurred. Step 4. Insert a new scene, an upgraded outcome where you acted in power, where you succeeded, where you were chosen, where you won. Step 5. Anchor with intention. This rewrite is sealed across all timelines. Feel it lock into place. Elite occult fraternities call this timeline splicing. Intelligence officers trained in covert influence use similar protocols to erase trauma conditioning. Applied personally, you literally collapse the bad loop and replace it with a quantum upgraded sequence. Victims of severe trauma have reported instant relief and sudden shifts in present circumstances after timeline reversal sessions. The Vatican hid this under confession absolution rites. The CIA cloaked it under post-event hypnosis. Truth, it's timeline engineering, the ultimate classified cheat code. Because your future state broadcasts backward, reshaping the chain of events. By editing your past, you force your present to reorganize itself into coherence with the new timeline. This is why some people experience massive life changes after doing inner work. They're not just healing, they're editing the timeline. Cheat Code 3, the Mirror Override Protocol. Every reality around you is a mirror loop feeding back your core frequency. Normally you can't break the reflection because it's recursive. You project, it reflects, you reinforce the same pattern. But there's a protocol for forcing the mirror to glitch. In quantum cognition models, observation collapses probability fields into stable echoes. The mirror effect is feedback from repeated collapses of the same vibrational pattern. By spiking the system with nonlinear self-observation, viewing yourself as both observer and observed, you create a quantum feedback fracture. The wave stops collapsing into the same identity, and the mirror bends. Here's the occult black mirror ritual. Step 1. Stand in front of a mirror in total darkness. Light one candle behind you, never in front. The light source must be behind you, so your reflection appears as a darkened figure with illuminated edges. This creates the necessary psychological conditions for identity disruption. Step 2. Stare into your pupils until your face begins to distort. Your brain will glitch. This is phase 1 of the override. Step 3. Speak aloud the exact opposite identity of your current limitation. Not I want abundance, but I am the code that abundance obeys. Not I want love, but I am the frequency love seeks. Step 4. Hold the gaze until the reflection feels alien, as if you're watching it mirror you instead of the other way around. Step 5. Snuff the candle with your breath, sealing the override in darkness. Every time you interact socially, negotiations, business, influence, recall that distorted reflection as your true face. This disrupts the predictable frequency people unconsciously respond to, making them treat you as an anomaly. Command presence without effort. Others stop projecting their usual patterns onto you and unconsciously shift their stance to match your new frequency. Your nervous system logged the distorted self as the override. Your subconscious believes the old loop was terminated. People as mirrors now fail to find the old frequency and are forced to realign. Classified Vatican notes called this the Damon's Gaze Protocol, used in exorcisms and later covert programs. It's dangerous because if you stare too long, the subconscious may accept the distortion as your true face, fracturing identity permanently. Secret occult archives rendered it as identity reassignment through perceptual collapse. This isn't manifestation or positive thinking. This is direct intervention in the feedback mechanism that creates social reality. Once you understand that every interaction is a negotiation between two mirror systems, you can consciously upgrade your signal and force the entire network to recalibrate around your new frequency. But remember, the mirror doesn't lie. If you're projecting fear disguised as confidence, if you're broadcasting neediness disguised as power, the mirror will expose the deeper truth. The override only works when it's aligned with genuine internal transformation, not surface-level pretense. Use this code when you're ready to step into authentic power, not when you're trying to fake it. Cheat Code 4, Sigil of Collapsed Time. Reality bends not when you wait for it, but when you collapse the gap between want and already having. The elite don't pray for results. They encode reality with sigils that eat timelines. Desire stops being future-based and mutates into it already exists. This is based on the forbidden interpretation of the delayed choice quantum eraser experiment. Observation doesn't just collapse waves into particles. It rewrites the direction of cause and effect. Your intent, once encoded properly, doesn't just change the future. It rewrites the past conditions to align with your chosen outcome. Ancient grimoires hint at this in Enochian seals and forbidden Sufi numerology. Encode desire into a compressed symbol, bypass the rational mind, and the symbol becomes a backdoor into the fabric of reality. Elite occult fraternities had these documents locked. The fusion of sigils plus timeline collapse was deemed too dangerous for public access. Here's the sigil construction protocol. Step 1. Write your desired outcome in one present tense sentence that makes your rational mind uncomfortable with its certainty. I have $50,000 in my account. She is in love with me. I run a 7-figure empire. The discomfort you feel writing these statements is your linear mind resisting the collapse of time. Push through it. Step 2. Remove vowels and repeating letters until you're left with raw consonant fragments. I have $50,000 becomes HV50K. She is in love with me becomes SHLVWTM. Step 3. Compress that into a unique alien-looking glyph. Sketch until it feels charged, until it looks like nothing you've seen before. Step 4. Charge it with collapse. Stare at the sigil until it burns into your vision, until you see it when you close your eyes. Step 5. Burn the sigil. This is the crucial step. The act of burning it releases it into space-time, where it starts rearranging reality to match its command. After the ritual, make sure you keep doing the normal actions, working, pitching, networking. But because the sigil is seeded in the quantum field, probabilities skew in your favor. It's like bending the roulette wheel without touching it. Suddenly deals randomly flow. People happen to message you with opportunities. Money finds the cracks in reality and spills into your lap. Synchronicities stack on top of each other until the impossible becomes inevitable. At this point, you're not forcing outcomes through action. You're biasing the selection process of reality itself. When the mind reduces language to symbol, the reticular activating system, your reality filter, no longer sabotages the intent. The symbol hijacks subconscious pattern recognition, which feeds into quantum observation. The sigil gets past the firewall. Your nervous system becomes a transmitter, quietly biasing timelines toward the outcome. Soldiers who used this ritual in old military psyops labs reported spontaneous money windfalls, sudden career leaps, and people falling inexplicably in love. Old religious archives claim some users burned through karmic debt at accelerated rates too much too fast. Note that the sigil doesn't care about your readiness, your worthiness, or your personal growth journey. It's a precision tool that executes commands regardless of consequences. Only encode desires you're genuinely prepared to receive immediately. Remember, you're not asking the universe for anything. You're giving it direct orders about how to reorganize itself around your will. Cheat Code 5, Time Slip Anchor Protocol. Time doesn't exist as a straight line. It's a memory field. Every second you experience is a loop, already archived in your nervous system. If you can rewrite the stamp in your body's biological clock, you collapse the waiting period and force reality to deliver what was supposed to happen later into now. In intelligent system time dilation experiments, classified under chronoception distortion, they found that focus on bodily rhythms, heartbeat, breath rate, neural oscillations could stretch or compress subjective time. The hack isn't about clocks, it's about syncing your nervous system to a different quantum interval, where probability collapses faster. You literally override space-time processing in your brain's thalamus. Mystics in the Nag Hammadi texts whispered a forbidden practice called sealing the hours. Instead of praying to escape time, they inhaled and suspended the breath of God while visualizing themselves as already having crossed into the moment they desired. To them, the body was the time machine, not external relics. Here's the time slip protocol. Step 1. Sit or stand in stillness with your eyes closed. Step 2. Place 2 fingers on your pulse, wrist or neck. This is your biological clock, the rhythm that your consciousness uses to navigate through time. Step 3. With each beat, say in your head, now, not allowed, internally stamped into your nervous system. You're overriding the default timestamp with conscious intention. Step 4. On the 9th beat, hold your breath and see the moment you're waiting for. The deal closed, money arrived, person appeared, breakthrough achieved, as if it's already synchronized with your current biological rhythm. You're not imagining the future, you're collapsing it into your present heartbeat sequence. Step 5. Exhale sharply through the mouth, releasing the anchored timeline into reality. Continue your day as normal, but notice how waiting periods compress, how delays dissolve, how outcomes arrive with impossible timing. This is because it forces your body's clock to anchor the desired event into the present cycle instead of later. You've re-stamped the archive. Takes less than a minute. No props, no crystals, instant application. Waiting for hours? Do the override and feel minutes collapse. Need results fast. Call, cash, message. Use it to pull the outcome into the present. Anxious about delayed results from job interviews, business deals, or relationship situations. Override your biological clock to skip the anticipation phase and anchor the resolution in your current moment. Athletes and financial traders in Black Ops programs used this before high-pressure events, compressing hours of anticipation into immediate flow. They weren't just managing their nerves, they were editing their relationship with time itself. Quantum classified documents hinted that perceived time was the biggest lever of control, not drugs. By hijacking how your body counts the beats of the world, you dissolve lag. You're forcing your nervous system to skip the waiting file and lock onto the probability file already marked complete. Time doesn't move forward, it collapses inward. This isn't visualization fluff. This is chronoception warfare. Once you feel it work once, you'll realize how dangerous it is. Because if you can collapse small outcomes instantly, you'll wonder what happens when you scale it to life-changing ones. The 5 quantum cheat codes wouldn't be complete without the last one that sets as bonus. The gratitude sequence. Gratitude is not thankfulness, it's a frequency override key. When triggered properly, it creates a time-fold ripple that forces reality to reorganize itself into favorable alignment. It doesn't just make you positive, it bends probabilities. Gratitude generates coherent biophotonic emission. Your body literally radiates light signatures, measurable in labs. When directed intentionally, these emissions act like quantum markers, instructing probability waves to collapse into beneficial events. You become a resonant magnet for synchronicity, hacking the selection bias of the universe. Ancient initiates called it the seal of completion, the act of assuming what you desire is already delivered. In mystery schools, gratitude wasn't passive. It was an occult command signal to the field. Here's the Elite Ops protocol for gratitude. Step 1. Close your fist. Inhale. Imagine pulling in your desire as if it's already here. Step 2. Exhale. Snap your fingers once. This anchors it as done. Step 3. Speak one line of gratitude in past tense. I'm grateful money already found me. I'm grateful the breakthrough has already unfolded. I'm grateful love already chose me. Step 4. Feel the flash flood of relief like it already happened. That microsecond of done is the hack. Step 5. Release. Let the field reorganize. Use this in micro moments, before opening an email. I'm grateful the opportunity is already in. Before walking into a room, I'm grateful the connection already clicked. Before checking your bank app, I'm grateful the flow has already increased. Black Ops reality hacking on the fly. Nobody sees you doing it, but the ripples show up in real time. The illusion of time makes people wait for blessings. Gratitude collapses that wait. By declaring done before evidence, you force the subconscious and quantum field into retrocausal alignment. You trick time into rewriting the present as if the future already happened. Most people misuse gratitude like a greeting card. This isn't that. This is gratitude as a frequency detonation, a precision-tuned probability override weapon, hidden in plain sight. Now that you have the codes that have been buried under layers of academic jargon, religious dogma, and government classification, you need to recognize when they're working. But before that, let me make something clear. The universe doesn't send you a certificate when you start bending reality. There's no official notification when timelines collapse. But there are signs, subtle frequencies that only awakened consciousness can detect, and obvious synchronicities that even skeptics can't explain away. The subtle signs come first. Synchronicities that make your skin crawl. Repeating numbers that follow you like breadcrumbs. 1111, 333, 555. Not because angels are sending messages, but because your upgraded frequency is syncing with the mathematical code underlying reality. Deja vu that feels more like a memory than a coincidence. Dreams that bleed into waking reality. Dreams become prophetic, not metaphorically prophetic, but literally prophetic. You dream conversations that happen the next day, word for word. You dream outcomes that manifest within 48 hours. Your sleeping mind is accessing probable futures and collapsing them into your waking timeline. People start treating you differently without any external changes in your behavior or appearance. They unconsciously sense your upgraded quantum signature and respond with more respect, attraction, or deference. You haven't done anything different, but they're reacting to your new frequency. Your nervous system will know before your mind does. You'll feel electrical, restless, like something ancient just woke up inside you. Then the obvious signs start cascading, out of nowhere, opportunities. Money flowing from forgotten sources. People reaching out with exactly what you need. Delays that suddenly collapse into immediate yes. So now, if you've been using the codes and these signs aren't appearing yet, you're either applying them inconsistently, or your rational mind is sabotaging the process through doubt and analysis. The codes work through feeling, not thinking. They activate through embodied certainty, not intellectual understanding. If the signs are appearing but inconsistently, you're in the recalibration phase where your old timeline and new timeline are overlapping. Keep applying the codes until the new frequency stabilizes as your default reality. If the signs are obvious and consistent, you've successfully bent time around your consciousness. You're now operating as a quantum anomaly in a linear world. Welcome to the realm where impossibility is just another word for not yet observed. But here's the mirror punch that changes everything. If you've been seeing repeating numbers, if you've experienced impossible timing, if reality has bent around you in ways that made you question what's real, you've already been bending time without knowing it. The codes I just gave you aren't new powers. They're the conscious activation of what you've been doing unconsciously your entire life. You've always been a time anomaly. You just forgot. But remember, with power comes responsibility. You're no longer a victim of circumstances. You're an author of outcomes. Every thought, every feeling, every observation now carries quantum weight. The codes have awakened abilities that most humans spend lifetimes trying to access. Use them wisely. Use them consciously. Use them with the understanding that you're not just changing your life, you're demonstrating what becomes possible when consciousness remembers its true authority over time, space, and probability. Let me tell you about Marcus. 6 months ago, Marcus was trapped in the delay loop. Brilliant mind, powerful vision, but every opportunity seemed to slip through his fingers at the last second. Every manifestation got stuck in almost and soon, and we'll see. He was addicted to waiting for external permission to live his power. Then he found the codes. First, he used the observer collapse switch to stop witnessing his bank account as empty and started observing it as abundant. Within 2 weeks, a client he'd forgotten about paid an overdue invoice for $8,000. Then he applied the mirror override protocol before a crucial business meeting. Instead of projecting the desperate energy of "please choose me," he entered the room carrying the frequency of "I am the anomaly you've been waiting for." They offered him a partnership on the spot. But the breakthrough came when he mastered the time-slip anchor protocol. Instead of waiting 6 months for his business to scale, he anchored the success into his present heartbeat. Within 30 days, everything he'd been building suddenly clicked into place. Revenue tripled, team expanded, vision manifested. Marcus didn't just change his circumstances, he changed his relationship to time itself. This isn't coping, this is neural warfare. Where have you seen delay sabotage running your life? Where have you been unconsciously collapsing "not yet" instead of "already here"? 6 months from now, your nervous system won't even recognize this old identity. The version of you that waits, that doubts, that settles for crumbs. That person will feel like a character you once played in a movie you barely remember. You had the override switch the whole time. It was just buried under survival mode. Feel what just shifted as you've been listening. That electrical stirring in your chest, that restless energy in your hands. That was real. That was your frequency remembering its authority over space-time. Tonight, write down the belief that's been silently betraying you, the story that keeps you trapped in delay. Then burn it. Let the smoke carry the old program into the quantum field, where it dissolves back into pure possibility. Here's the final paradox that completes the circuit. The cheat codes I just gave you weren't external tricks. They were mirrors reflecting your own forgotten authority back to you. You didn't learn how to bend time. You remembered. You didn't discover new power. You reclaimed what was always yours. The time prison was never locked from the outside. The key was in your hand the entire time. You just forgot how to use it. Every delay you've experienced, every someday that never came, every manifestation stuck in limbo, that wasn't the universe testing you. That wasn't karma punishing you. That was you, unconsciously collapsing possibility into postponement because you were programmed to believe you didn't deserve immediate access to your desires. But you do deserve it. You always did. You are not a human being having a spiritual experience. You are consciousness itself, temporarily focused through the lens of a physical form, pretending to be subject to time and space and limitation. The game was rigged from the beginning, but not against you. For you. Every moment of waiting was preparing you for this moment of remembering. Every delay was building pressure for this breakthrough. Every frustration was fuel for this awakening. You are the anomaly in time. You are the glitch in the matrix. You are the conscious observer that collapses possibility into reality through the sheer force of your attention. Say it now, out loud. Feel the words rearrange your cellular structure. I am the anomaly in time. Say it again, louder, like you mean it. I am the anomaly in time. One more time, like your life depends on it. I am the anomaly in time. Good. Lock that frequency into your nervous system. That's your new operating system. In the comments below, tell me what power you're reclaiming today. What timeline are you choosing to collapse? What reality are you calling into existence right now? Time bends around anomalies, and you just became one. There's one more secret I didn't tell you. It's not what you remember from this video that changes everything. It's who you become without the old limitations. The person who needed permission just died watching this video. The person who bends reality just took their first breath. Welcome to the other side of impossible. Say it out loud now. I remember who I am. The field is listening, and it's already rearranging itself to match your command. If this video cracked open something in you, which I know it did, then understand this. You're no longer an outsider. You've touched the current. Subscribe now, seal your place in this circle, and speak the code that hits you most in the comments. This is how the chosen signal themselves. This isn't just a channel, it's the beginning of your initiation.